All right, we're live. Hey everyone, how are you? I'm feeling very patriotic this evening. Anyway, for the ones that have been emailing me, I will get back to you in just a bit. But for now, we need to say prayer. Uh, if I can get everyone to bow with me, we're going to say prayer, and then we're going to get into the spiel of what you all guys came here for. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For the kingdom and the power and the glory are yours, now and forever. Now I want to do a second prayer. It's my special prayer that I have created. This prayer is for the nation. It goes a little bit like this. Father God, we come to you in these times of trouble within the year of 2020. We have been given a great burden and high level of stress. You said through your word that if we call upon your name in sickness, in health, and in distress, that you would provide us with the necessary tools to defend ourselves as well as to defeat our enemies. Lord, today we must hold you at your word for our safety. We must hold you at your word for our healing. We must hold you at our word of your coat of armor, which is also covered in your blood. As we must not forget that you have taught us that you are the beginning, the middle, and the end. We all have been taught to be fearless in the face of our enemies. We have all been taught to rebuke the devil 7 times in completion for us to be free from his spell and his fake power and his fake authority. In these troubled times, Satan has smiled in our face and spoke of nothing but massive lies to destroy your people. These men have created a sickness called the COVID-19. These men have created a serum that kills instead of heals. These men have created a microchip that they can depopulate the world in which you have created. These people have become rich by the use of power of their money to destroy your earth. In times for a change by the hands of all people. Father God, at no time have you appointed man to be your partner of this earth's creation. It is still believed that only God has created the heavens and the earth, and we the people shall inherit all that is within the earth. For the entire 7 weeks, we the people will rebuke Satan and his army by the following list of rebukes. We rebuke you in the name of Jesus for the ones who have created the COVID-19. We rebuke you in the name of Jesus for telling us that we have to suffocate ourselves by wearing a mask that cuts off of our breathing. We rebuke you in the name of Jesus for being falsifying and passing false judgment on people and dictating to them about their lives and the verdicts of your so-called fraudulent courtrooms. We rebuke you in the name of Jesus for being part of the media that is withholding the truth and spreading these lies to keep people in fear. We rebuke you for all of your protesting and your rioting for your own selfish and wicked ways. And we say that it also in the name of Jesus. We rebuke you for you being rich and helping yourself and creating this microchip to gain control over God's land and his people. We rebuke you in the name of Jesus for calling yourself the KKK, being of poor government, and the officers who are killing Black people. We will now finally rebuke you in the name of Jesus, and no more will these people be allowed to come to steal, kill, or destroy the land that we, the people, have taken to build this nation upon. We will pray for God to return each one of these poisonous people to the fiery pits of hell from whence they once came. So we seal all of this in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, and we say, Amen. Again, folks, I want you guys to get into the habit of reciting a prayer or the Lord's Prayer or your own prayer and rebuking these people in the name of Jesus, because this is the only way that they're going to be able to flee. Um, I said this before on the other video lessons. After these 7 video lessons have been completed, I do plan on going back to doing my writing and my music. You guys have been emailing me about my band. Yes, for the ones who don't know who I am, other than me being the queen of radio, I do have a live music performing band called the Sapphires Blue Notes, which was named after my father, Bernard Wilson. So we will be back on a chord for Sapphire Blue Notes in 2021. But for now, we got to take care of some real serious business that's been going on, okay? Um, for this video disclaimer, all of the contents will be expressed come from my own personal research and my personal experiences. There is no third party that has been involved. Also, the contents of this program will be very graphic. So please be aware and please be advised. My videos, all of these videos are unfiltered and uncensored. So again, you have been made aware. Also, now getting back on to business at hand. What has been in the news this past week? Uh, I want to start off. I don't know how many of you know about this group, but I'm going to send out a congratulations to the NFAC group and their Louisville success of representing strong Black people. Guys, I could not be more proud of this man as he came out there and he really, really represented. I'm not going to lie to you, I've been studying him. I've been following him. I've been trying to figure out what exactly is Mr. J's mission. What is his goal for Black people? So if I can make this an understanding, if I can get this understanding to be correctly done or correctly said, Mr. J is the founder of an organization group called NFAC. That means Not Fucking Around Coalition is the actual name. This man has stood up and stood behind for Black people. From what I've gathered, he's tired. We all are tired. Not just to say that he's tired. We're all are tired, and we're no longer wanting to put up with white governmental bullshit. Okay, I'm not saying the white race, because the white race is not the problem. We already know that white people dislike themselves. They hate themselves to the point where they love to be miserable. But we're not talking about them, at least not for today. We've talked about them in the past. This is white governmental bullshit. And, it's just redundant. You know what I'm saying? So I take my hat off to this man. If we can't, I believe what Mr. J was trying to say to the people. If we as a people can't find a solution to get along in this world, then maybe, and to help to change, also to help to change their white superior laws, then maybe we should just pick up and move and go someplace else where we can totally be free, respected, and appreciated. United we stand and divided we fall is what I've gathered from, watching and studying Mr. J. I think he is a divine man. I believe God has called him to serve upon Black people to do what it is he's trying to do. And I'm gonna tell you something. I support him 100%. I'm not going. Now, I will tell you this. I'm not going to go out there with a gun. That's just not my flavor. If I got to fight, I'm gonna whip somebody's ass. Okay, that's how I roll. I'm not the type of person that's gonna just pick up a gun, and guns is just really not my forte. But I will say this. And speaking about white government are really, really poking that bear. You see, what they're doing right now. they have some downsides to the Brianna case. And this maggot officer. Oh, this is another thing I found out today by looking through the different YouTube channels. They have taken this maggot officer George Floyd, the officer who killed George Floyd, and they have let this maggot out on a $1 million bond. Now, this is the reason why I have been saying, okay, this Trump and this Joe Biden, this 2020 election, Trump, you see, I mean, Trump has already proven to us that he's playing both sides of the spectrum. Okay, he's not playing fair on either side. He's burning the candle by both ends. And then you got Joe Biden. I just don't know what to say for him. He just, for some strange reason, he just seemed kind of clueless to me. Okay, he just doesn't understand what the world really is asking of him. I just don't see the common sense of connection with him. So here's what and I would like to say this, and I know people are going to be upset with me for saying this, but the whole US of A needs to go on an electoral strike until these white governmental people can take us seriously. And this has nothing to do with black, white, Chinese, Spanish, whatever. I'm saying we all need to stand up and take electoral strike. I'm not saying that you don't go back and vote for whoever you want to vote for at a later date. But right now, we still got this elephant in the room, folks. When is the elephant going to be able to be resolved? Stop playing games with us. White government is playing other presentations. I said, if you go ahead and give up your vote now, while they're making all of these false promises, and they still don't deliver after you done gave them what they wanted, then that means they done kicked us in the ass all over again. That's what that means. So I'm asking everyone, we all need to hold on to that vote until these so-called white government give us what we need and what we want. Now, I don't think that's too much to ask if you think about it. It's just like I said before. Let's say, for instance, you're building a house. You know for a fact that before you can hire, you got to give them a down payment, right? Everybody can agree with me on that, right? Okay. Now, once you give them that down payment, that means that they got to come back and finish the job. Well, it's the same scenario, folks. We need to hold on to these votes for the ones who are voting, because half the world don't even fool with voting whatsoever. And I'll get on that topic in a little bit a bit. These people, we as a people, need to hold on to this until they can get this shit right. They need to stop acting like they don't understand what's going on with all of these killings of these white police officers killing black people. They want to act like they don't understand what's going on with this COVID and this pandemic. They want to pretend like, oh, okay, well, I promise you. Did he not say this? He says, they both said this. Let me take that back. They both promised something that they thought that we, the people, wanted to hear. But see, what they failed to realize, we are in control. They need us, people. We don't need them. And as quiet as it's been kept, there are billions of people out there right now, as we're speaking, who are living their lives without the means of government. Yes, I said it. There are this is the reason why they are trying to depopulate the world. But what they fail to realize is some of these people that is not living under the jurisdiction of government is of all nationalities. It's not just the black race. But they trying to get rid of the black. They trying to put it on the surface that, oh, we'll get rid of the black race and then everything will be copacetic. No, it won't. No, it won't. So they are assuming that all black people are, not part. They need to. That's the reason why they can't count us. But technically, the numbers is a lot larger than what has been appeared in media. I'm just going to let y'all know this. These people that are not participating in any type of governmental arena or platform, they are called people that are what they call themselves are self governed. Okay, self governed. If you doubt what I'm saying, look it up, because I don't need anybody to debate whether I'm right or wrong. What I need for you to do is do your homework and find out information and knowledge for your own self. Okay? So I think, I'm going to tell you, and getting back to Mr. J, I want to get back to him. I think every black man in this world needs to stand next to Mr. J in his mission, because this man has not only walked the walk, but he's talking the talk. All you punk ass black men sitting up on your ass trying to find and throw salt, rocks and salt and pebbles at this man, you need to stop that. You need to stop that. That's the problem with us now. You are sitting up here visualizing, saying, "Oh, this man is doing this," but guess what? I don't see none of y'all out there trying to help him. You're a black man. The issue not only affects him, but it affects you too. So what excuse can you possibly give? And another thing I want to say on behalf of Mr. J. There has been two. No, I take that back. Now that I thought about it, there's three black men out there. One of these men look like a straight up gorilla. Okay, he looks like a gorilla. This man literally got up on on the social media platform, did a video, talked about how he was going to kill Mr. J and his group. He said, and if I'm gonna try to summarize it. I can't really say exactly the way that he said it, but to summarize what this black man said, he said, well, we found out that this man comes out of Atlanta, Georgia. He's in the Atlanta, Georgia area. He's a big black, ugly looking mug. This man sat up here and made a video saying that he knew Mr. J long way back when, and they used to be gang bangers or whatever their situation was. And he said he know where he live and he know where his family live, and he's gonna take it out, and he's planning on. And he even got so descriptive to say how he planned on killing this man. So I said to myself, you know what? See, this is what we're talking about, folks. If Mr. J ever catches this man out of Atlanta, Georgia, with that videotape, he could easily have him thrown in jail for the safety of him and his group. People, you need to think, black men, this is not, in such a time that we are in, this is not the time to be against one another. Okay? This is some tomfoolery. And whatever you got with Mr. J, even if you knew him from when he was a child, you don't use it. Man, come on, really? You're going to use a platform, you're going to get on a platform and make all of your open complaints about this. And then the second guy, before I move on real quick, the second guy is after Mr. J. He said he got up on social media and said that Mr. J stole his bank account. Okay, said he stole his money and this, that, and the other, and he's going to get his group of people to go after his group of people. And I'm like, this is some third grade bullshit. Okay, this is what you do. This is what we did when we were in third grade. Y'all remember the 3 o'clock? Beat you up at 3 o'clock. That is so freaking child men that want to go after Mr. J If you feel that froggish, leap. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Leap if you think that he's gonna be the punk that he gonna. I believe this man gonna show you differently. Y'all need to stop with the foolishness. If you can't get with his program and what he's trying to accomplish, then start your own group and let that be the reason. Okay? Ain't nobody stopping you from starting your own black militia group. Ain't nobody stopping you. But stay off of this man's platform because he's not doing anything that is inappropriate. Matter of fact, he's more civilized than any black man that I've seen to stand up on behalf of black people. So cut your garbage, man. And I'm saying this to the three black men that's been out there on the social media these past weeks, bumming Mr. J. Look, I'm gonna support my black men. I'm gonna support all my black men that stand up and do what's right for us. Okay, I want that to be clear. Now, moving on. I'm looking at I got a lot of lights because of the camera and stuff, so I have to dim my eyelids because sometimes I can't see, and so I have to put the shades on in order for me to see my screen. So I need to move on. Hey, number two that I need to bring up before we get into I need to put Mr. Ben Crump on blast, and I want you to go and tell Mr. Ben Crump that I put him on blast on my lesson this evening because I got some questions. Matter of fact, I got some questions. Matter of fact, I got two questions that I need to, that Mr. Crump, I don't want you to answer me personally. I want you to give this answer to the people. Okay? I want you to give your response to the entire nation of people. Don't just come to me. I want everybody to hear your answers to these next two questions because we need an answer. Okay? Now, the first question that I want to ask on behalf of we the people, because of this officer getting off on a $1 million bond, we the people need to know how many signatures will you need to bring and have this all of these white officers to be placed on the death penalty. We're not going to sugarcoat this no more, okay? The officer that put his foot on George Floyd's neck, we need to see a death penalty to be put in place. So the first question, that we the people need to ask you as representative of the George Floyd family, and the fact that this whole thing became chaotic, we need to know how many signatures do we need to put on petitions to have this man to be brought for a death penalty. And not only for him, but for Breonna Taylor as well. Okay? We want to know that because it's time out for playing games. You see, after I sat back and I watched, ladies and gentlemen, I sat back and I watched. I said, I see what the so-called white governmental people are doing. They trying to get a reaction out of us so they can have a reason to use their guns. See, I figured this out. I said, okay, all right. I tell you what, we're not going to act uncivilized about this matter. What we're going to do, which is what I talked about in all of my other sessions, what we're going to do is use the power of the pen. We want to know how many signatures will it take to get the death penalty for all of these white officers that has killed our black people. And I want Mr. Crump, I want you to speak this publicly. Don't call me personally to give me the answer to that. I don't want to hear from you. I want you to get in front of the rest of our black people and explain how we can go about making that happen the right way. Because I'm pretty sure they got it in their heads that, oh, it's a wrap. Black people ain't going to do nothing. They want us to come out there and act a fool and burn up stuff. And no. See, that's uncivilized. We gonna act like we got some sense by using the power of the pen. And not only that, not only that, I want to talk about some other things too. Government has already owed all of us from the pain of all of the 4,000 cases, murder cases that we can't even, I mean, it's so many people that's been murdered by the hands of the cover up Ku Klux Klan white officers that it's ridiculous. So you sitting up on your lily white ass sending out these stimulus checks. No, you need to give us a lot more than that. You need to give us a whole lot more than that. And as far as I'm concerned, because you still owe me too. You see, government has stolen my father's T-bills that was worth $1 million back from 1998. Oh, you thought I forgot? Did government think that I forgot? Oh, I've been sending you letters ever since 1998 when my father passed away. I'm talking about the man that raised me, not the man that birthed me, not the man. Bernard Wilson is the man that helped to conceive me. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about the man who left it in my will that I'm supposed to have access to his T-bills that government stole back in 1998 when we laid his body down way back when. When are you going to give me my money? Because this little funky ass $1,200, that don't even put a dent in what you owe me. So that's a posing question that I want to put out there. I'm putting you on blast. When are you going to pay me what you really owe me? And to show you folks how government I want everybody to realize another thing about this so-called white government. White government has been discriminating against black people since the day each one of us was born. Oh, wow. Did she just say that? Yes, I did. You want homework? Here's your homework. I'm gonna prove this point to you because I want you to do the work for yourselves. Everybody needs to pull out their birth certificate. When you look on your birth certificate, you know what it says for black people. We are a code, folks. We are not human beings on our birth certificates. We are codes. If you're white, you get the WHT abbreviation. If you're black, it's BLK. And BLK does not stand for Burger King, folks. I want you to pull out your birth certificates and see how this is the reason why they call us animals. This is the reason why we're called animals, because we have allowed them to put this on our very birth certificates. They don't look at us as human beings. They look at us as a commodity. Ooh, wow. You're going to get very educated tonight. And by the time these 7 lessons is over with, you're going to be a force to be reckoned with. Because I'm not playing with you, and I'm telling you what you need to be looking out for. These are the things that you need to be taking notes on. This is not a game as to what these people are calling themselves doing. They are smiling in our face and throwing that rock that they got hidden behind their back. And I'm gonna lay it out for you. So you can lead a person to water, but you can't make them drink. You can't make them drink. So I want you to go and look on your birth certificate. That's your homework for tonight. Oh, and another shout out. I got to do another shout out before I move on to the lesson this evening. Before I forget, I need for someone out there that knows a man by the name of Kendrick Wilson. I saw him do a interview for the Louis Farrakhan Final Call interview. I need for somebody to have that young man to get in touch with me because I believe we are blood related. And I need to find out if that is possible because he got Kendrick has a lot of my father's features on my father's side, not my mother's side. Father's features in his face, and I want to find out if we are blood related. So If anybody out there is knowing of Mr. Kendrick Wilson, please give him my contact information, email address at atorclass101@gmail.com. Please tell him to provide a phone number to get back in touch with me, and I will get back in touch with him. Again, that's atorclass101@gmail.com. And you can also, oh, before I forget, if you like to make a donation for the knowledge and the information that I am sharing with you, well, you can do that two ways. You can send me, I'm giving away a free ebook to everyone that requests. It's called New Justice, New Peace, Series 4000. It talks about all of the lesson plans put in a small ebook. Everybody is that it's for you free of charge. Also, for anyone that wants to make a donation for the cause, I'm not, like I said, once I get through these 7 videos, I'm done because there's not really doing videos and doing shows was really draining for me. It's not very frugal. Is the income is not worthy. The little income that you make from doing these videos is really not worth my time or my effort. I'm just being real with you. I can't support myself off of these videos. I mean, if a sponsor comes up at a later point and say, we'll sponsor you and we'll help you to get through it, fine. But as it stands for now, I'm coming up out of my own pocket to do these videos for everybody to be educated as to what's going on and what we as a people need to be doing. So with that being said, if you want to make a donation, fine. I'm not looking for it, but if you do, that's fine. It's at a touch of reality, the number 2 at gmail.com in affiliation with PayPal. You would have to send an invoice to PayPal in order for it to get directly to me. So, and that's the only time I'm going to promote that. I have 4 books. I have exactly 4 books and 50 movie specs. And for the ones who emailed me in reference to my dad, thank you. I'm so happy that to know that my father's people that knew of him when he was with Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. I'm happy to know that you guys are supporting me and checking in on me to let you know that I'm okay. I'm all right. I'm still hanging in there. Yes, I'm still planning on doing a movie in reference to the whole story behind the Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, as well as how my father brought Teddy Pendergrass to the scene. So yes, that's still going to be done. It's just that we have to get financing. We have to get filmmakers to get on board with that taking place. And then we have to hire actors and actresses to play the part. So it's a lot of work that needs to be done in order to make a movie. So I just wanted to clear that up for all of the ones who have sent me emails in the mail, or email, I should say. Okay. Taking a breather moment right here. I got my notes. I gotta look over here. Okay. Now I need to clear up. I need to clear up about all police officers that I need to say this. Yeah, this is what I want to do, and I'm not scared. See, I got my tomboyish look tonight. I put on my shades and got my my hat and hair. Actually, my hair is messed up, so I need to put a cap on. But anyway, that's just our little secret. uh, I want to make this clear, just in case somebody decides that they want to go and tell a police officer to watch my videotape. Okay, I want y'all to know how I feel about you, and I'm not ashamed. At this point in my life, folks, all cops are maggots. You're maggots. You're maggots to me. And your mama should have been wearing a reversible condom. She really should have. And if you are a white cop, that means you just a double maggot to me. And you should be wearing 2 flea collars. I'm just being real, folks. I told you this was uncut. This is uncut. Don't say, oh my God, no, she didn't say that about our police officers. Our police officers are full of shit. And I'm going to share with you how to handle these maggots. Okay? Now, I need for everybody, if this is the point in time, folks, where you all need to go out and get your paper and your pen, because I'm getting ready to talk about, I'm going to break it down for you. Now, unless, of course, you just like looking at me and you want to just go back and say, wait a minute, she said something. I need to rewind the tape. And she said this, that, and the other. And I want to make sure that she said that correctly so I can get this down and apply this. Okay? First of all, the two things that I want to say to all of you so-called police officers that you claim that you're doing a service to us, which you're not. Okay? You are not, and I'm going to repeat this twice because I want to make sure that you heard what I said the first time. You are not of any type of an authority. Okay? You carry no powers. Okay? I want to say that again. Yes, she said it. Yes, I said it. I said, you police officers, you have no type of authority and you carry no power. What you are paid servants of the public. That's what you are. That's your job title. You are a paid servant of the public, paid by the one who owns you. Oh, yes, I did say it. The one that owns you, your slave master, is called government. Don't get it twisted. Okay? Now that I've said that, yeah, go share it with I know a police officer. I don't give a rat's ass about how many police officers you know. You don't have no authority. So stop putting yourself on that high ass pedestal. Matter of fact, you know what's even funnier? Oh, excuse me. You know what's even funnier? Y'all can't even fucking spell authority. Okay? They don't even, let me tell you something. The reason why, and here's a secret that I found out about police officers. Because see, I served next to them for almost a whole decade on the community board in Chicago. And see, the police officers back then were nothing like the police officers now. See, the police officers now is full of tricks and shit. You see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna let y'all know about all of their tricks that they call themselves playing. Now, like I said before, police officers, you are owned by your slave master called government. So stay in your lane because that's what it is. Okay? Now, and another thing that you police officers need to stop doing. You need to stop telling the biggest lie that has ever been told to the public. When you stop, see the three little words that they get ready to tell you when they stop you on the street and they run their fake ass game. They tell you, they say, hey, you better obey me because it's the law. The three little words is what's going to get them fucked up. Because every goddamn thing that you turn around is not the law. Now I'm going to tell you what law is. For the ones who don't really understand and you sitting up here being, oh, I'm so afraid of Mr. Police Officer. I'm so afraid. Let me tell you something. What law is when the masses of the people come together to vote on an issue. That's what law is, ladies and gentlemen. It is when you got the masses of the people agreeing that this particular item or issue should become law and is filed at every Supreme Court in the U.S. Now, if this motherfucker wants to sit up on his narrow maggot ass and tell you it's the law, the next time you're stopped, I want you to ask that motherfucker to prove it. Say, okay. And you say everything that comes out your mouth, oh, it's the law. Okay, where does it say that, sir? Can you like break that down for me? I'm gonna give you a prime example of how I made an ass out of the officer. Okay. One day, I'm up. This was during the time when I had my two dogs. I had a Rottweiler named Bullet, and I had a bulldog, American bulldog, that they mistakenly thought that she was a pit bull, but she wasn't a pit bull. She just was stocky like a pit bull. Her name was Shira. Now, my dogs were very well maintained, well behaved. I could take my two fingers and give them a command if I want my dogs to bite. Okay. Now, I'm going to the park. Now, see, there's a park in my neighborhood over here, a little neighborhood park. It kind of looked like a little park. You're pretty much near the water, near the lakefront there. So I'm walking my dogs, right? All of a sudden, we get this white bitch. I'm pretty sure she was a Karen. You know, Karen got this little mud hole of a dog walking. And my dogs looked at this dog, didn't flinch, did not flinch. And so I'm trying to not stir up any trouble. So I try my best to go all the way across to the other side of the park because I was out there on a training. You know, you got to constantly train dogs every day in order for them to be the best that they could possibly be. You got to keep practicing with them. So anyway, I'm out there walking my dogs, let them get their air and use the bathroom or whatever they got to do. And so here she comes up here talking about, oh, I got a problem with you being in the park. I'm like, lady, I don't even know who the hell you are. Why are you messing with me? Why would it make any sense for you to be bothering me? And I'm trying to, I'm trying to get my morning walk off with my dogs. I'm trying to bond with my dogs. So that wasn't good enough. Now, the more I tried to move over, here she comes. Here come Karen. Karen got to complain. So I said, look, lady, I tried to avoid you. I really did. I tried to avoid you. Now, if you don't take your little narrow white ass on somewhere, I'm gonna tie my dogs up to the tree and I'm gonna whoop your ass. Okay, I'm gonna beat the brakes off you. So she said, oh, what you gonna do? Have your dogs to do it? I said, no, sweetie, I don't need my dogs to kick your ass. I said, you go ahead and So she's like, oh, that's right. I'm gonna go and call the police. I said, call the police. I don't give a shit. What the hell the police can do about me walking my dogs, minding my own business? So, as white people do, she goes and calls the police. But by that time, I had left the park. I went home. So I would say within maybe 20, 25, 30 minutes, I get a knock on my door. And I'm like, okay, so here this man standing out here waiting. And so I said, okay, how can I help you? He was like, are you the lady that was at the park? We believe you the lady that was at the park with the dogs. I said, yeah, and so what's your point? Well, ma'am, we have a complaint by this lady that says that you threatened her with your dogs. I said, no, let me correct you. Okay, let me correct you. What I told her, and see, I don't bite my tongue when I repeat things. I said, what I told that white lady, I said, look, I'm gonna tie my dogs up on these trees and I'm gonna whip your ass. And you and your dog is gonna have a reason to make a noise. So he said, is that what you told her? And he looked at me as if he was surprised that I told him, yes. I said I would whip her ass. And she would be having that little dog as a hot dog when I got through. So he was like, he couldn't believe that I was so transparent with it. He was like, wow. He said, so you didn't threaten her with your dogs? I said, sir, let me tell you something. I don't have my dogs to fight my battles. First of all, my Rottweiler weighs 175 pounds. Okay, I didn't need him. Now, if her dog had been bigger than a hangnail, then maybe she would have something to talk about. But no, I told her specifically if she didn't get the hell away from me, I was gonna whip her ass. Yes, I said that. So I said, so what's your problem? So he was like, well, I don't know, me, can you come back to the park? No, I ain't going back to the park. What you want me to come back to the park? Whatever you got to say to me, you can say to me right here on my step. Because I'm not gonna go back to the park just because some white lady was being obnoxious with me. So he says, okay, well, if you ever you're not allowed to go back into the park anymore at this point in time. And I was like, I don't give a damn about you. How the hell you gonna tell me I'm not allowed to walk my dogs when I need to walk my dogs? I said, okay, yeah, you go with that then. Okay. So he was like, well, I didn't mean it the way it sounded. No, you said that I was not allowed to go back into the park with my dog. You ain't got to worry about me taking my dogs back over there because I don't need to go there anyway. So I said, okay. He said, well, I tell you what, if you ever, he said, I'm gonna let you slide for now. Like you doing me a favor because some white woman with her little chihuahua mutt poodle whatever mixed dog it was. The dog had a big old head and a scrape board for an ass. I don't know what type of dog it was. It just looked so dysfunctional. So he says, okay, well, I tell you what, Mr. Officer. I said, well, who are you? And then he says, well, I am the park ranger. He's sticking out his chest like he's standing on something. I said, oh, so I made a fool out of the situation. I said, oh, you a parker? If I go through the park, the next time I go through the park and I get assaulted by any of those trees or abused by any of those trees in the park, I will definitely give you a call. So he looked at me like I couldn't put nothing over on her. And I said, well, you do what you got to do. But you talking like a damn fool to me right now. So, or whatever, you could do it in a very polite and cautious and, and calm way again. If you are afraid of the police, they're going to treat you like a dog. They're gonna pick up on that fear and then they're gonna run with it. So this is the first step in the lessons of learning about police officers. You need to be calm. Now, getting back onto the lessons, I got it written down here because I have so much stuff I want to share with you guys. Okay, there are two ways that you can address a police officer. Okay, that's number one. There's two ways. Now, I want you to write this down. If you are that type of person. Now, if you got a brilliant mind that you can remember all this stuff that I told you, I take my hat off to you. There's two ways that you can handle a police officer. You can either be silent. Okay, you can not say a word during the whole process, or you can challenge their authority. But wait a minute, hold on. If you're going to challenge their authority, you need to have the information correct as to what you're talking about. Don't just be rambling off about, oh, I got the First and the Fifth and the Sixth and the 18th Amendment. Cut that bullshit. Cut it. Because I'm gonna tell you something. They don't even know what the amendments are. Okay? I'm telling you. I told you last week on the video. 47% of the police officers that we run into are mentally ill. Okay? I want y'all to remember that. I want you to remember these numbers. I want that to marinate in your head. They're 47% mental ill. And the other 53%, they're only taking the job because it's an ego thing. They're trying to get back at the opposite sex or the same sex because their life was fucked up before they even got that job. So when they tell me that there are some good officers, no, there's no good officers. Not with the today police officers. Let me say that today officers are not good like the officers from when I was originally hands on with them. But see, they fail to realize something. I know your game. I know their game. And see, this is the reason why I'm here today to teach each one of you as to what you need to do when you are stopped by these maggots. And I advise everybody, write the shit down. Because I may say something during a presentation, my speaking this evening, and it may went completely over your head. So I need for you to write the stuff down so you can refer back to it. Unless, like I said again, unless of course you just like looking at me, then be my guest to play the tape over and over again until you get it. But there's two ways that you can handle the situation. You got to remain quiet. Do not open your door. You leave your door locked. You hear what I'm saying? For your own safety, you do not start engaging in a conversation. You're just going to tell them, if you're going to play the silent role, you got to tell them, I will remain silent until somebody else comes here. I'm going to remain silent until somebody gets here. Now, I'm going to share another story with you about how, and then the second way, let me go back because I'm looking at my notes. Because the way my process goes, I have so much stuff up here in my head that I want to tell y'all that I overlap on some of the things, and so I have to write these things down, and so I have to go back to my notes in order to get back on point. Okay, now that's how that silence game works. You play silent until you can get amongst some witnesses. And I would prefer, since we're living in a time where white officers are going around killing black people, if it's all possible, travel with. And I'm going to tell you why. The reason why you need to travel with more than just yourself and sizing that officer up and all of whoever comes into the situation. And then you need to have a person that's running a camera. Okay? I'm trying to tell you, you're going to need this, and I'm going to tell you why you're going to need this as we go along. Now, you need to have somebody that is going to remain silent. If you are the driver of the car, if you're going to go down the road of being silent, then everybody in the car has to be silent. You can't be silent and then your girlfriend or your boyfriend is sitting over here saying, well, I won't say something. No, you don't. You better be in sync with each other. Everybody is going to say nothing or less to nothing. You're going to ask the officer, what did you pull me over for? You're not going to get hyper. You're not going to prove your point of how many laws and regulations or whatever that you know. You're going to keep this simple, calm, cool, and collective. I kid you not, this works every time. And I got millions of stories that I can share with you that they tried to play the game with me. But I'm going to tell you, if you're going to play the silent game, keep taking pictures, keep sizing him up, him or her up. If it's going to be more cars involved, if he's one of them asshole officers that go and call for backup, still remain calm. And every officer that is approached and he asks you to speak, you say, I refuse to speak. Okay? Until you explain to me why you pulled me over in the first place. And who are all these other people? And why do you feel? See, you need to get to the truth, ladies and gentlemen. You need to ask the who, what, when, where, why, and how. Okay? Remain calm because you never let them see you sweat. Okay? If they want to take you in, go, just go. But let me tell you something. you need to have everything documented. And I'm going to tell you what you need to have equipped in your car. Okay. Now, the second story. Oh, excuse me, my notebook dropped on the floor. Okay. Now, the second thing, these are the things that you're going to need to have equipped inside of your car before you start heading on the road. And I'll tell you why. There's going to be 3 phone numbers that you need to have on your dashboard. Okay. First phone number is to the internal affairs of that police district or county. I don't know, district, county, some of them say district, some of them say county, whichever. Okay. In Chicago, it's called the Internal Affairs for Professional Standards, if you're in Chicago. Okay. Now, if you're living in another state, city, or town or country, you need to do this homework before you get onto the road. This is homework, folks. This is going to save your life in dealing with these maggot assholes. Okay? I didn't seen it, been through it, done it a million times. I know what's going on behind the scenes of them. Okay? Now, you need to have 3 phone numbers on your visor. The 3 phone numbers. Number 1 is the internal affairs for that county or that state or whatever, for the police department. See, just like they have internal affairs for crooked judges, they have internal affairs for cops also. Okay? And a lot of people don't know that, but they do. Now, also what you need to know, each officer of the law, there is a up to $2 million bond insurance policy on their heads if they fuck up that you are supposed to claim. You should have been claiming. Okay? I'm going to say this again. This is the reason why you need this internal affairs. Okay? Now, you need to have the second phone number that you need to have in your car on the dashboard or on the sun visory. You need to have an attorney. And for Black people, you need to have a civil rights attorney. You need to find and do your homework and find out what civil rights attorney is available. I'm not saying that you got to hire him beforehand, but have a person in mind as to when some shit go down. You will have that. If it's Joe Smo, let's just say Joe Smo. I'm just making up a name. Okay, Attorney Joe Smo. Joe Smo name and number is blah, blah, woo, woo. Okay, you have his number on the advisory in your car. Now, I'm going to tell you how that's going to be productive for you. Okay, now, the third number that you need to have is somebody else that is a family member that can be a third witness. You need a third witness that's not in the car. Okay, it can be somebody at your house or somebody who you can just call upon and say, hey, I need your help right now. Now, if you got other people in the car, you need to have those other people in the car calling these numbers. And I'm going to tell you why. Now, with the first number, according to Internal Affairs, if you report a crooked officer within the first 48 hours, you immediately get that cash process. And usually they send it to you within, 8 to 10? No, I'm sorry. Let me correct that. It's 8 to 12 weeks. See, let me tell you something, folks. Everybody in every county has money set aside for when officers fuck up out there on the road. Okay? Now, and I'm going to share a story with you about how a crooked cop got busted. The crooked cop, he was a Black man. He was driving down the road, down the street, minding his own business. He was in the car alone now, keep in mind. Black man in the car alone. Here he comes with the lights and the serial lights in the back of his vehicle. He said he pulls over. He didn't give the officer no trouble. The officer tapped on his window and said, roll down your window. It's the law. Okay, here we go with that bullshit phrase again. It's the law. So he told the man, is there, what seems to be the problem, sir? What seems to be your problem? This is what he said to him. He says, well, I pulled you over because you sat at the stoplight too long. And I think you're doing drugs by you being black. I think you're doing drugs in your car because you sat at the stoplight too long. You didn't take off fast enough for the light, because you need to take off at a certain speed at the light because it's the law. Really? You pulled me. The man said to him, he said, you pulled me over. Let me get this straight. Okay. Let me contemplate all of this up in my thought process right now. You said, I want to repeat this because I want to be correct on what you said to me. Now keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, he had a video camera rolling on the inside of his car, and he had the internal affair recorder pushed to play. All the while, that way, if the officer is on some bullshit, he got it recording automatically. So he pushed the play button while the man was standing there tapping on his window with that foolishness, telling him, "Oh well," he said, "Well, sir, can you step outside of the car?" He says, "No, I can't do that. I can't do that right now." And then so he says, "Well, why can't you? Why can't you step out the car?" He says, "Before I step out the car, sir, do you mind if I make a call real quick? Just need to make a call, you know." And so the second call he made, because this man was good. This man, he took this class. I think he took this class. He was good. He had his attorney. He knew his attorney wasn't going to be in the office, but he had the recorder for his attorney to hear what was going on with him and the officer while he was sitting there going through. So on the first call, because he had two cell phones, the first one was a call to the attorney of the internal affairs, had their office line on one recorder, and then had his attorney on the second recorder. So he was very calm and cool about it. He said, "So you assume because I'm black," and he set this officer up by what he said to him. He said, "So you assume." Let me get this straight, because I want to make sure that I heard you correctly. Only thing he did was repeated it back into the microphones that he had already had going on his dashboard. That's all he was doing. He was cool. He was cool as a cucumber. So he said, "So let me get this straight, Mr. Officer. You said that the reason why you pulled me over is because you assume that all black people are drug dealers." And so he was like, "Well, and then the officer really put his foot in his mouth, because he said, 'Well, you know how you people do. You people. Oh, now we're you people. Oh, okay, that's cool. That's cool. No problem.'" So then he said, then the man says, "Well, before I step outside of the car," and then the officer reached for his gun. He got ready to reach for his gun, right? He said, "Wait a minute, what's up, player?" He's like, "Why you need to put your hand on your gun?" So then he said, "Well, wait a minute, did you just not ask me to get outside of the car?" And then so he says, "Well, you may pull something on me, but sir, I don't have anything in my hand but my cell phone. You seem kind of agitated." So the third number that he had in his car was he forgot about his friend that he was planning on calling. Another number that you need to have in your car is the Secretary of State. or wherever they go to register the guns that's on their hips, because this particular black person found out that the guns that the officer was wearing was not even registered. It was not. See, ladies and gentlemen, you karma is a motherfucker, because he asked the officer. He says, "Well, sir, you're reaching for your gun a little bit too. You reaching now? I'm feeling unsafe. So I need to make this known that you getting ready to pull a gun on me, and I don't have anything in my hand but my cell phone. How you gonna play that, player?" So he called the Secretary of State, and wherever they're supposed to go, I don't know what they call it. They call them different things in different places. But in the city of Chicago, they call it's part of the Secretary of State, the DMV. Okay, no, that's another name for it. And some places you got to find out if the guns are registered. This man's gun, or this officer, was not even registered. Ooh, more money. I was hearing the dollar bills just cha-ching, cha-ching. And he was and the black guy was remaining real calm, cool, and collected. He was like, okay, cool, no problem. So he decided, he says, well, I'm not going to tell you who I am. So the officer says, well, since you're not going to tell me who you are, and here's another trick how they play on words. He says, since you're not going to tell me who you are, I'm just going to go ahead and arrest you. Oh, you want to arrest me because I refuse to tell you who I am? Okay. So then he placed a fourth call. He placed a fourth call to his girlfriend, or his wife, or whomever the lady was. She said, so and so, I need for you to come pick up this car, because this man he wants to take me in because I wasn't driving fast enough at the light, at the stoplight. And he said, what? The wife or the girlfriend, she's like, he said, he did what now? And then so he says, I'm on the corner of such and such a place. Come get the car. I need you to come pick up the car, because I got this little situation I'm going to handle. So he didn't carry himself in no inappropriate way. He went down there, and then by the time he got freed from the jail, he called the internal affairs and found out that the man did not have his guns to be registered. And that was part of his case. He filed the documentation. The black man walked away for being inconvenient by this fucked up officer that seems to think that he is so superior. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm hoping that you are learning from my class this evening, because I'm trying to teach you. I'm trying to teach you. I'm trying to show you something. I can lead you to the water, but I can't make you drink it. So, this man got paid, but he wasn't wearing a complete uniform. He was out of uniform, didn't have a uniform on, and he was posing himself as a cop. Now, according to their laws and their jurisdiction, whatever they want to call it, you are not officially an officer until all of your credentials have been met. Now, all of his credentials had not been met because his his guns wasn't even registered for him to sit up there and pull a gun on a person that he stopped. Wow. That's a real good one, isn't it? So, you got to learn how to play the game on that situation. Now, another story that I'm going to share. This is another good one for you. Tyrone. People told me they wanted to hear about the story about Tyrone, and they wanted me to tell you the story about Tyrone again. Let me tell you about Tyrone. This was, I told this story last week about how we were at the park. We got pulled over by some white officers because we were too loud because the woman across the street was. Now, what I forgot to mention in that story that I forgot to mention to you last week, Tyrone, they did what they call a fake wasa. I'm gonna spell it for you, okay? Fake, spelled Fake, fake. Wasa is spelled Warras. Wasa. Trying to say it correctly. What that is, ladies and gentlemen, is called a fake warrant. Okay, police officers has the power to create a fake warrant for your arrest while you're standing there. This is the reason why you cannot. Why it's important enough for you not to give them your driver's license. Okay? Because if you give them your driver's license like Tyrone did with his dumb ass, Tyrone gave them a driver's license to the point where they automatically typed in that information, switched it over to a what they call a police form in their car to draw up a fake warrant. Thought you knew. I'm trying to teach you folks, trying to teach you. Now, if you got to give the officer, don't stand up there and say, I'm not giving you nothing. No, no. You got to learn how to lie. You got to learn how to lie real well. And lie because they're lying to you. They're lying to you about knowing about the law when they really don't know about the law. So, this is what you're going to do. The next time they ask you for identification, here's my lie that I told. Because I'm gonna tell you something. I always carry my driver's license in my either my front jacket pocket or my pants pocket. But guess what? I ain't got to tell you the truth about who I am and what. For all you know, I could be Minnie Mouse or Daffy Duck. I'm whoever I need for me to be at that particular point in time. But see, how I did it. This is how I got away with not giving up my ID. I said, oh, you know what, sir? Boy, I wish I could accommodate you. But you know what? I can't accommodate you because I left it on my dresser at the house that is for, oh, no, it's about 5 blocks down. Would you like to come to my house and wait till I give you the driver's license? He was like, wait a minute, no, you can't leave. See, they know for a fact they cannot leave the scene of the crime, or if whatever suspectedly crime, perpetrating a crime, whatever. So I invited him. To go someplace else in order for him to get the proper identification that he wanted me to have. I told him, I said, I didn't feel a need to be walking around with a driver's license. I didn't see a need to do that. So he was like, okay, well, never mind, forget it. He couldn't set me up that day. I'm not boo-boo, okay? I'm not stupid. And neither should you. Okay. The next time somebody asks you, don't make a fuss about it. Just tell them that your license is someplace else. Okay. That's all you got to do. And they what they're gonna do? Force you and say you're lying to me? They don't know if you're lying. You need to have a poker face. Have a poker face. Be like, you better know when to hold, when to fold, when to walk away, and when to run. And right now I'm holding. I got my ID right here on my hip. But guess what? You maggot motherfucker. Tell you you can go back to my house and we can search for it. That was my lie. Now you need to come up with yours. Because Tyrone, with his dumb ass, they sat up there and made out a fake warrant. It's called fake wash. Okay? It's called fake wash. Almost, it sounds like wash, but it's spelled Warras. That is the code for when a police officer is putting in a fake warrant for your arrest on the spot. It's fake. Because that way they can get you down there to where you're going to have to spend some money to get your ass out. See, according to them, they think everybody has something on them, and that's not true. That's not true until they put in there. They got a computer. See, all they once you give them that driver's license, they go back over to that little computer screen and pull up a fresh fake form that says we're going to put one out for him right now, and this is his name and serial number, and this is his social security number, and this is how we're going to find him. Mm-hmm. Do not fall for the okie dokie, folks. It's a fake. It's not. It's not even real. They'll even tell you, oh, well, we need to check to see to make sure that you don't have. Nope. Mm-mm, nope. I'm sorry. That's the reason why I tell you, look, if you need to have something with your photo on it, let it be a bowling card. Go make up a bowling card or make up a sporting event card and say that you're part of ABC team. Put it in a lamination. Put it in a lamination and say, hey, I'm part of the ABC baseball team or ABC basketball team. Show them that. But do not show your state ID or your driver's license, because what they're going to do is take that and process a fake warrant right there on the spot while you're sitting there waiting on them. Why do you think it takes them so long? They're going to say, oh, well, we're looking up to see if there's anything out there on you. No, they're not sitting there looking. That's a lie. It's a lie, folks. They're trying to see. They're trying to type it in, trying to get that so they can pull you in so they can make their money. You got to be part of that quota, whether you're black or whatever. And nowadays, they're starting to pull over white people. So, maybe now they're making their quotas on everybody. So that little information, I think you need to carry that and tell people, share that with them. Next on the list, let's see what here. Oh yeah, I told you that you need to pray, and oh yeah, pocket notebook. That's another thing that, yeah, that I forgot to mention that. You need to have a pocket notebook, folks, with at least 2 writing pens. And whenever you come across a police officer, you need to ask them for their identification. You need to ask them, and this is what really going to make them run away. This is the number one thing that makes officers run away from you, not from you running away from them, but running away from you. Because this is what every time they call themselves trying to stop somebody, I always say, this is what I'm going to tell you. I say, look, what's your insurance bond number? The officer looked up and said, what did you just say? What did you just ask me? I said, what is your insurance bond number? So the man tried to play it off, right? The officer tried to play it off. He said, well, I'm not arresting you. I said, I know damn well you ain't arresting me because I ain't got no reason to go. But making sure that this is not a bullshit stop. I need to have your insurance bond number. So you got to be a bold bitch to ask somebody that question. I mean, you got to really feel confident in yourself to ask that question. See, you got to know the information before you go, folks. This is the reason why I tell you last week, practice, practice, practice. And when you practice this stuff that I'm teaching you, you're going to feel so confident when you be driving your car and you and your family. Y'all ain't got to fear nothing. Because you just been taught by the baddest bitch on the face of this earth when it comes to dealing with these assholes. I'm giving you all of what I done gone through and what I've seen other people get paid for. If they're gonna be stupid, then you need to pay me. You need to give me them dollar bills, and I'm gonna file that paperwork to get me my money. All I gotta do is wait 12 weeks. Okay, I'll wait for 12 weeks. And I'll have the pictures and everything to show for it. Another trick that officers like to do. They like to switch up on their cars, their badges, and their uniforms. They will have, they will switch up. So when they act a fool and you go ahead and take the information off of the jacket. See, the stuff off the jacket may not even be valid either. You're gonna have to call that into the internal affairs and say, can you fit the? Can you? If this is a white man with a receding hairline, and he got blue eyes, and he got freckles on his face, or whatever physical description you got to give, the internal affairs will tell you if that person is a real police officer. Mm-hmm. They'll tell you because they have to answer to them instead of. And another thing, instead of you asking for a supervisor, fuck a supervisor. Because the supervisor may be a dickhead, just like this dickhead that you got in front of you. So what you need to do is say, excuse me, Mr. Officer or Miss Officer, I need to call the internal affairs on y'all, on all of y'all. Okay, because I don't know if that uniform matches the guns and all this other stuff. I need to find out if y'all are even registered or licensed to carry those weapons that you call yourself getting ready to pull on somebody. Uh-oh. And here's another question, ladies and gentlemen. You need to ask for that insurance. You got to be a bold bitch like me to ask for an insurance bond card. Say, he's like, no, see, you don't understand, sir. If I call the internal affairs on your ass, I'm going to find out if you're legit or not. I'm going to find out if you are registered with them guns on your hip. Because if I find out that you are not registered with them guns on your hip and you getting ready to pull a gun on me, and I don't have no weapon, oh, I'm gonna have your job by the end of the day. Trust and believe. And I'm gonna tell you something. The internal affairs is quick on this shit. They gonna get back to you within 48 hours, and you gonna have a case number where you can say, cha-ching, pay me, motherfucker. You want to inconvenience me on this bullshit? You stopping me because I'm sitting at a stoplight or I'm sitting on a park bench? Black people, it's time to get paid. Get your money. White people, if you're stopped, you still got the same advantages as we. But see, we get stopped. You know, my people get assaulted more than whites. And I'm pretty sure there's some white people out there has been bottled by this bullshit. But if you're going to go through all of that, you might as well get paid. That's why if you're going to inconvenience me, you're going to inconvenience me today on some new bullshit, right? Okay. So there have been several times when you call into the internal affairs and you find out that the officer wasn't wearing his correct uniform, which is the reason why stuff get held up, because they don't know how to make out a fucking report correctly. Okay? So you got to have all of your ducks in a row. And I am so proud of all the Black men that I have shared this with prior to me ever doing this video that has taken the information and the knowledge and used it to their advantage to save their own selves. Ladies and gentlemen, I am a peacemaker. I support my Black men to the highest degree of supporting a man. God made the Black man for me, and I appreciate it. And anytime I can help my fellow Black man, I'm going to do just that. I'm not going to ever, I may talk about y'all's ass, but I'm going to talk, if I got to talk about you, I'm going to do it in the privacy of my own house, or we're not going to take this out in the street. Because whatever discrepancies I have with my Black man, it's going to be done at home. We're not going to go out there and show our ass and say, oh, well, you see them too. No, we're not going to show that part. Well, I'm always, see, there's only three things that a Black man can expect of me. Okay? I'm going to stand up. I'm going to stand with you in your time of need. I'm going to stand behind you to support you. And I'm going to stand up to you when you done fucked up. Those are three things that you can expect from me. I'm not going to give you no more, no less. They found out They found out that the man had switched up his uniform and his car with 3 other officers. That's why you gotta make sure that you got all of your rocks and pebbles unturned, ladies and gentlemen, because these white officers is not playing. They are out here hurting and killing our people so they can say, oh well, I'm justifiable in doing this. No, you're not. This is the reason why I put Mr. Ben Crump on blast, because I want to know how many signatures he needs for us to put these white people that killed George Floyd and Breonna Taylor on death penalties. I need to know this. We need to know how many signatures, so we as a people can come together and provide them signatures that they need. And I say again, we need to not vote on this election. We need to put this thing on a hold. We need to make a public announcement that we're going on strike until y'all get this shit straight. Y'all can sit up on your ass and pretend like you don't understand. But you need to get all of this. This elephant is in this room. The elephant is in the room. We're not playing no more games. You didn't hurt too many of our people. Now it's time for your white people, your white officers. Let me be specific. It's time for your white officers to pay the price. And we want to see the death penalty for these bastards that has killed our people. That's what we want. Tell us when we can show up for a march to see this to take place. See, I'm not scared, ladies and gentlemen. I'm through playing. I'm through playing around. I'm through pussyfooting this whole bullshit. Because this has been one bullshit phase after another. And see, we ain't gonna give them the satisfaction because we're civil. Black people are the most civilized and most smart, the most smartest creatures on the face of this earth. God made us that way. We don't have to show our ass. We can go in there and say, you know what? The power of this pen is what's going to do it for us. So I want whoever is listening to me tonight, I want you to go back and help me to get a message to Mr. Ben Crump. I want you to get that. She asked 2 questions. And I want him to make a public statement on answering those 2 questions, because we, the people, and white people are wanting this too, because they say that man should have never put his foot on that man's neck and jingled his keys like he got it going on. Okay, now you're ready to sacrifice your life. That's what you're telling us, right? Is that what you're telling us? You ready to sacrifice? It's time for you to sacrifice, give up your life now, Mr. Officer of the goddamn fake ass law. Yeah, it's time for you to be on that other end. You gonna wish you haven't had you gonna need to call your mama now. We're tired. We're tired and we're fed up. So I'm hoping that you guys can share all of this information that I've shared with you this evening. I don't think I got anything else for tonight. I don't want to go into next week's lesson plan. I want to make sure. Oh yeah, I said about the notebook. Make sure you have a notebook so you can do your you take down the number of his car, you take down the number off of his shirt, and you ask for his insurance bond number, because that's going to be a totally different number from the numbers that is there. And remember, you do not allow them to put a fake warrant. It's called a fake WASP. That's what it's called. That's what it's called. So you do not allow them to put a fake warrant on you, because that's what it is. It's fake. They're just trying to get you down there so that you will have a reason to spend some money, to put money on their revenue books. It's not a joke. And now they're starting to do this to white people, which I can't understand why they haven't been doing it to white people. But now white people are not so superior anymore, because they're starting to stop you guys too. So They already been, but see, we're hip to the game. I done hit a lot of my people to what's going on with this how to handle a police officer. See, when you got all the goods in your hand, you don't need to panic, ladies and gentlemen. You do not need to panic because it's gonna be in your favor at the end of it. All you got to do is file your paperwork, sign your name, give them a copy of the clip, be in touch with an attorney, say, look, Mr. Attorney, this is what I had to deal with. And that man called him back and said, I'll take your case. Won the case, $400,000. $400,000 after 12 weeks of doing what he needed to do because that officer thought that he was above the so-called fake laws that has never been talked about or shared. All of the laws is fake. Whatever they think they can get you on, that's what it's going to be for that day. They're going to tell you, well, I pulled you over because you were breathing too hard on the corner of the street, and you can't breathe on the corner after 6 p.m. But see, when you find bullshit, ladies and gentlemen, you have to make it to your advantage. Look at it as a paying opportunity. Because one girl, this was so funny. This is so funny. One girl from the ghetto said, she said, I wish you would take me. Come on and take me so I can get some change. You know how they do up in the hood. She started jiggling and jinking and whatever they do that, they're twerking. I don't do the twerking thing, but the ghetto girl said, yeah, you finna get fired and I'm finna get paid. That's what she said. Came out of Memphis, Tennessee. She said, you want to take me in? Okay, clean. Come on, let's go. Because I'm taking pictures. She had a girlfriend there. They were taking pictures all the way through the whole process because you finna go to jail. Because they arrested her because they said she was too loud in doing her barbecue at a public park. She said, okay, come on. You finna be fired and I'm finna get paid. And she went and she told her sister to put a sign on her shirt because she followed the directions. Now it's your turn to get educated. Get the knowledge because power is key. I don't care what color you are. I don't care whether you're black, white, Spanish, Hispanic, Latino, whatever, Asian. It can happen to anyone because they're desperate. They're desperate. And this is the very reason why I call all of them maggots. They're not even good to be off the bottom of my shoe. And the same house, even more sad they are, they don't even know how to write a police report. That's the reason why half these crimes out here can't even be solved. I looked at a police report, and then I'm gonna wrap it up, ladies. I'm gonna wrap it up, you guys. I can sit here all night and talk to you, but I've gotten all the information out for this evening. But get ready to close it out. They can't even write a police report in a dignifying way to where it makes sense. Now, for some strange reason, every police report I had, I used to have to go behind they had us doing community type service where you have to go behind a police officer and look at how he or she makes out a police report. And every police report had somebody named Beefy. Now my question is, who in the goddamn hell is next? Who the hell is Beefy? And then it said Beefy was using a dookie stick. Beefy was using a dookie stick at the 0-100 hour with a door nut. Okay, what the hell is a door nut? So, okay, I know there's a man out there, men, you guys got your body parts. Okay. You got your body parts. What the hell is a donut? Somebody, I need for somebody to email me and tell me what the fuck is a donut. This is what was on the post. And then my question is, what the hell is a dookie stick? Okay, okay. Is this something that you clean out your your prostates or something, or your rectum? Is it a booty hole cleanser? Or is it going to make you feel fresh at the end of the day, or is this going to be something that's going to be real stinky? I mean, what is a dookie stick, or is it a pile of shit? And who is this damn Beefy? On every police report, there was a person named Beefy. Now, this Beefy person must be one hellified person. He gets around. I'm telling you. Because I'm like, okay, Beefy. Okay, so Beefy is doing a donut. Okay, does donut mean that they're jacking off in person, and women are paying for them to see them jack off? I mean, I'm trying to understand the scenario as to what the hell is a donut. Okay, somebody gonna email me. Y'all email me, because I want to try to make sense out of what the hell they're saying on a police report. And who the hell is Beefy? Somebody needs to. I need to get a physical description of who the hell this Beefy person is. Because he been all over the country. I mean, and it seems like at 0 100 hour, he's always taking a shit. What? There's no bathrooms where Beefy is. What do he need to? Do we need to send Beefy some depend underwear? What the hell? I mean, okay, okay, that's not funny, and I'm trying. I'm trying. Okay, I'm trying not to laugh, but that's just how stupid they are. So, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a great pleasure uh, giving you guys, but we're only going an hour and a half this evening, uh, but I will say, I need you guys back here again for some more learning and taking notes as to how are we going to get through these chaotic moments. I need for you guys to subscribe to my channel. Sometimes they give me a number that is tied to the channel, but if you look up Queen of Radio or Linda Evans, I'm up there. So go ahead, subscribe. I want you to go and tell your friends. Let them get educated. Let them see this tape themselves. I try to end on something a little bit more humorous. I'm not a comedian, so don't come asking me, oh, say that damn joke again about, the donut nut. I think the police officer was trying to say donut. I think that's what he was trying to say. But I said, dude, if donut is what you're trying to say, don't ask for that no more. Here, let's just go ahead and ask for a snack. Okay, don't ask for no donut, because we don't know what the hell a donut is. I'm just saying. I'm telling you, police officers will fuck up a police report to where you don't know what the hell they're asking for. They need to go back to third grade and learn. They need to learn how to put their sentences together. They need to learn. They need to go back to grammar school, because that stuff is just, oh, okay. So I see you guys. Well, I can't. The ones on the computer. It's not that many on computer, but I do see you guys coming in through my email, and you guys are always asking me. So I love it. Keep it coming, guys. Keep it coming. Like I said again, I'm only going to be doing 7 shows unless, for God forsaken reason, they want me to continue to do this thing. Because to tell you the truth, guys, I really don't care too much about being on camera. I know that sounds strange, because you guys send me emails, and on Facebook you say, oh, Linda, I love that picture. I love that picture. But you know what? It took a lot of me to get into the mood to take those pictures. And some of those pictures go all the way back to when I was in my 30s. When I first did the Queen of Radio, yeah, I was in my 30s. Uh, yeah, when Block Top Radio came out with me wanting to be the spokesperson and got up with a touch of reality. Uh, a touch of reality I did. Oh, and Get Up Radio with Mr. Alan Cousin. Many thanks goes out to him. And then, oh, and before I close it out, I gotta say this, Georgie, my good friend Georgie, I like to support all Black businesses. So Georgie has a marketing consulting business that I would love for you guys to support. And you can find my good friend. Me and George have been friends ever since he used to call me Oprah number two. Um, Back in the day. That was when I was in my 30s. I'm a little bit older now. I'm in my 50s. Not that I'm ashamed of it. I'm happy to be in my 50s. I love the benefits and the lives. My lives have gotten better. So anyway, and I appreciate you guys telling me how much you love me. I love you too. I love you guys too. Just if I could kiss you, I would. But as I was saying, Georgie Porgy, my good friend Georgie, who I've been knowing for like 20 years. This man has gotten me through the ups, the downs, the changes, the turnarounds, through business. I mean, we've always had our business things together. He is at www.gmsa1.com. So, George, I did not forget you. I did not forget you. I had you on my list right here. That's gmsa1.com. And also, again, go check out Mr. J's We're Not Fucking Around Coalition. I want every Black man to go ahead and sign up. To stop being a punk. Don't stop being a punk. You get your ass out there and help us to get these problems solved with this fucked up white governmental system that needs your help and your support. So, okay, guys, it's getting late. My cats are getting on my last nerve over here. So maybe one day I'll show you my kitties. But in the meantime, I love you all. Take care. Be safe. I got some more information that I need to share with you over these next 4 weeks. And I want you to go tell your friends and let them listen to my program, the short version, the long version, whatever parts you want to go over again. Show it to them, let them know I'm here for a short period of time. And with that being said, see you on the other side. Love you. We'll talk about some more good stuff about the police and how we're going to get through all of this foolishness. So, peace out, guys. Bye. Good night.